Welcome to USAFBL Fingerboard Podcast. I'm your host, Levine Cunningham, and I'm excited to be chatting with Cody Mexico of Fingerboarding Unlimited on Facebook. Cody, thanks for coming on the podcast. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for inviting me.
Definitely. So, for people that may not know who you are, you have probably the most active fingerboarding Facebook group on the planet.
It's
And
been a
so
work in progress.
it has. And I've been watching you since day one, and I'm excited to have you on the podcast and talking about this journey. Also,
Excited to be here.
who's your sidekick here?
Oh, that's Isaac. That's my son.
Right on. Well, I appreciate you coming out. Today is Sunday's Father's Day, and I know we got a lot of fathers out there. So shout out to all the fathers being great dads, doing your thing, handling business. So let's kind of get into this. So let's talk about, I mean, you probably were a skater first and then a fingerboarder. I'm gonna probably go out on the limb and say.
Yeah. I was one of them kids I couldn't leave it alone. I had to bring it everywhere I went, and tech decks just made it easier. Could take it to school and work after that.
So when did you start skating?
Oh, I was probably, I want to say when Tony Hawk Pro Skater came out, that's what got me into it. And I just couldn't put it down. I just kept trying to watch the video game and see how they would do everything. It wasn't always right, but I got a few things by watching.
Man, all right. So then when did fingerboarding basically kind of get adopted into your lifestyle?
I was already into skateboarding and everything to do with it. And then I think it was like 97, in fact, that come out. I was in middle school and all my friends were doing it. And then I just kept doing it. A lot of them fell off and it went through high school. I put it down when I got married and picked it up later. It's just something that's always been in my head is skateboarding. It just lives in there.
No, I feel that. It's yeah, I've been kind of in and out as well. And then COVID definitely brought me back. Probably going to limb and
Yeah.
say COVID did the same for you.
Yeah. When COVID hit, we downsized at work. I lost my job for a little bit. And then I broke my foot shortly after that. So I spent a lot of time home and I had a new baby in the same time. As soon as that, I started the group. I didn't know how big it would get. I hoped it'd get big. And then here we are. I think we're 3 years later.
That's wild. I love it. Speaking of family, you got probably one of the largest families that I know of.
It's pretty big.
It is
A lot of
pretty big.
responsibility over here.
No, definitely. So, like, tell us like how large the family is, and just kind of like the family dynamic you guys got going on.
So I got 7 kids. I've had 5 with my ex-wife and then 2 with my new wife. We all close knit. Everybody gets along, still get along with the ex-wife. We all team up on the kids. Seems everybody's got to live at work most of the time though.
No, I understand that completely. That's
Yeah,
impressive, especially like you guys make it all work. Everybody's like, you got this, it's just functional. And then like
we
today's day and
try.
age, it's that's unheard of. So huge shout out to, you and the fam and making everything work. It's awesome.
Thank you.
So where are you guys located out of? Like what city and state?
We're in Michigan, Kalkaska, Michigan.
Okay. The Michigan scene right now it's just absolutely huge. It is, I want to say unpopular opinion, Michigan is running the fingerboarding scene. And you guys can hate me in the comments for this statement, but there is no other state right now where there are literally fingerboarding events happening every single weekend.
Yeah. We got a lot going on. Where we're at, it's slowly building. I think we've got maybe 5 members from the group that we found out here, and we're slowly trying to build it up. I've been wanting to go up to the schools and talk to them and get things going to get more kids into it. It's all a matter of time though, and finding the time.
Man, well, you guys are, like I said, you guys are situated in a awesome spot as far as like the local scene and stuff like that goes. It's easy to get
Yeah,
connected with other industry, event leaders and stuff like that. You got like Boards and Brews, you got Fatty's Pre-Roll, Fatty Fest, you've
yeah.
got Anxiety Offline, you got Grind Fingerboards. I mean, I'm probably missing at
I was
least two
gonna
or
say
three
you
more
and Alan
people.
Dean were like the first people I ever met to just do all this stuff. Big guys anyway, you know.
I want to say that I met you at like Chicken Fingers 1 or Chicken Fingers 2. I can't remember like
I think it was 1 because I
the
think I
first
went to
one.
1 and 2. Yeah.
I
And
want to
then
say
shortly
whatever
after
it
was
was in like in
Chicago show.
2021, I think it's the one that I went to and I met you originally.
Yeah, I know that same year. I think you did the event in Chicago because we went to that too.
I think that's the
Or
yes,
maybe
yes,
that
yes,
was the
yes.
next year.
It was the next year. So I
Okay.
went to
Yeah.
Chicken Fingers 1. This was back before I actually started USAFBL. This was I was basically gathering up as much like information that I could as far as like hosting fingerboarding events, just getting a feel for the scene, stuff like that. So I went out, and I traveled to a bunch of fingerboarding events at that time and grind time or chicken fingers out in White Lake, Michigan with Alan Dean and Grind Fingerboards. He hosted, I guess, the very first one. And I had I had really had just a blast. It was at Exodus
I,
Ride Shop,
yep.
the skate
I
shop.
was
They
gonna
had a
say
bunch
that
of
was the first
fingerboarding
time I've
stuff
seen so
there.
many people at one time, besides the
Yeah.
lunchroom in middle school. I was like, wow.
And there was a lot of people there. There was like 60 to 80 people. I can't remember exactly, but it was a
Well, it
good
was packed.
crowd. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
packed.
I think I still have a recording of your oh, what is your famous trick there? I'm
The
gonna
blunt
blank on
shove
that.
it blunt.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I got a recording of that. I meant to send it to you if I didn't yet.
You may have
I
to
got a
send it
few
just
clips
so I
of
can
it.
throw it in the video. So
Yeah, man.
everybody's like, "How are you so good at doing the blunt shove it blunt?" And I'm like, the blunt
Hard
shove
work,
it
baby.
blunt for me was like my very first like combo. I had the Mountain Dew promo board with the Mountain Dew little mini ramp, and so I would come up on there and I'd blunt, and then I would just shove it and then catch it back in the blunt and then come back in like transitional wise. And so that was my very first like real like three piece. And
Nice.
so I never really adopted it into actual street skating, like actually ollieing into a blunt, shove it blunt until like literally COVID. And so once I got back into COVID, I was like, I wonder if I could do this on other stuff. And so I started just blunt, shoving, blunting on everything. And so from there, it just took off. But I've been
Oh
doing
yeah.
blunt, shove it, blunt since like 98, off and
I
on.
think at the competition you blunt shove it blunt and then kick flipped out of it
Yeah, and then
too.
kick flipped out. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
pretty much my go-to. So if you see me at a best trick street contest, I'm busting that out first try.
Oh yeah. You got
Lots
to.
of lots of fun. Man, all right, so that's the first time that we interacted. And then the next time that we met up was going to be the very first stop on the very first season tour of the USAFBL.
Yeah.
That's Chicago 2021.
That was a lot of fun. That's where I
It
met
was
Dave Ware too.
Yeah, Dave Ware, Bryce McNally. You
Yeah, I was
guys,
gonna say.
you
Yep.
guys literally saved my ass. Like these guys, so Cody, Bryce McNally, Dave Ware, his brother Michael Ware, even
Yep.
Isaac, I think, was putting in work.
Hmm.
We rented out the Hilton, man, the Hilton Doubletree. There's like the basement has a huge like convention room, basically. And the walk from outside to the truck and trailer through like the service hallway, down the elevator, all the way down to the basement, like it felt like a half a mile walk.
Yeah, you remember me carrying that big old piece of plywood that was twice as big as me?
I remember all of that stuff. Like,
These big old guys were looking at me like, "How are you doing that?" I'm like, "Oh,
so for context, to get from the truck to the banquet room was about a 12 to 15-minute journey one way. And
yeah,
so if you did a round trip, you were gone for like almost 40 minutes.
yeah."
And
And then
we
there's an
had,
elevator in
yeah,
between.
we had the elevator in between, which you had to wait on. And that thing was so slow.
It was awkward
Um,
to fit some of that big stuff in there. You're holding it against the wall.
yeah, because the parks were so like some of these Black River parks, I mean, they're eight
Massive.
feet, 8 inches long. And so like to get those into a freight elevator, it was pretty wild.
Yeah.
But we had like, I kid you not, like 100 trips and 40-minute round trips to the truck. And these parks are like 300 pounds. Like they're not light at all. So you're
Right.
talking about like just putting in and exerting a lot of energy just to get this huge room set up with all of these parks. And my blunder was thinking that, like, me, my mom, my wife, we can just, make all these trips and be fine. And not the case. And so, literally, without like you, Cody, Isaac, Dave Ware, Michael Ware, Bryce McNally, and if I'm missing anybody, I'm sorry. But like I said, you guys literally like made that event happen because I don't think we would have gotten everything set up in time. And even if we did, I would have been so wore out that like I couldn't even do the event.
No, yeah. I think
And
everybody pulled together and was just trying to work as a team. We really wanted that event to take off and be smooth.
And we literally hosted the most epic first fingerboarding event like ever. Like that
Yeah.
event was so fire. We had all kinds of people there. It's the first time I met Mitch Rush in person. Uh,
Yeah. Yep. I
Tom
remember that
Guerrero.
actually. He
Yeah.
did some kind of impossible out thing. Remember that?
Yeah, he did all that inverted stuff that you see him doing even today, like on Instagram and stuff. And I'm just like, I
Yeah.
didn't think like that stuff could be done in like, under a minute. And he landed this like sick combo within like 3 tries, like absolutely
Oh,
wild.
he's amazing.
Yeah.
I think
And
we met Cody out there too. I don't remember his last name right now.
oh,
He's
I don't
gone
think,
now,
yeah, he's
sadly.
not with us anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
RIP Cody. I think it's
Yeah.
Keely. I'll have to
I think
look
it
into
was.
it. I'll
Yeah.
have to look into it. Yeah. RIP Cody, man. That's rough.
Isaac did a couple competitions out there, I remember.
Yeah.
I think
He
he
did
got
a,
first place. Brought $200 home, almost bought a park there.
yeah, we were giving away cash that season. I remember that. We also
Yeah.
had a pro side and a amateur side at that time as
Yep.
well. So yeah, Cody taking in I think you got the amateur side, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he
Gotcha,
did better
gotcha.
than me.
Man, the nerves be
Pressure.
going, man, whenever you're
It
competing for
does. As soon as
sure.
everybody's looking at you, like, you just screwed up.
Yeah, I was out at Fast Fingers and watching like, 120 competitors and stuff. And all these guys and girls, man, like they're great, but like they're not like contest great. Like they were just shaking
It's just
like
hard.
leaves. There was this one guy, I can't remember who he was, dude. Like, I mean, he could barely keep his hands and stuff on the fingerboard. He was shaking so
Yeah,
hard and
Bryce
stuff.
McNally. It was Bryce.
Oh,
He was really shaking.
yeah. So like the nerves definitely be going, but I think after you get like 2 or 3 contests under your belt, like I think that anxiety just goes away.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you get used to the people too, like how much there was a ton of people that probably just met that day and like, oh no.
Yeah, I
And
think
for me,
before
the
us, it
pressure
was
was on. I figured I had to be real good because of who I was, and that's always a pressure.
well, I mean, you got a whole room full of cameras. Everybody had their camera out. We have our camera crew, our photographer, like everybody was literally like stopped fingerboarding, was like all crowded around like the competitor
Yeah.
park and all that. And so, I mean, anxiety was high. Anxiety was definitely high.
That Vans Bowl, I remember that too. That thing was pretty cool. Didn't it
Uh,
crack on that one or something?
yeah, we made a lot of transportation mistakes in season one, but yeah, we cracked the Vans Bowl. We replastered it and then we kept it, homebound because it's just
Right.
a 300-pound concrete bowl, which isn't really suitable for transport and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Get an accident, it'll blow through all your other ones.
I know, I know. What was crazy because we actually was trying to do bowl competitions, but we didn't think it through as far as the transport goes. So
Yeah. Live, you learn, you
we
know.
live and we definitely learn for sure. Fingerboarding Unlimited, you started. All right, so we both basically came back during COVID. And what's
Mhm.
crazy is like you probably saw what I saw. I saw that there was no real active Facebook fingerboarding groups.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so there was like some tech groups, which is cool. They were like pretty much active. But if you weren't like, a tech decker or a collector or anything like that, there really wasn't like a fingerboarding Facebook group that was dedicated for anything else besides tech decks. And so
Yeah.
kind of tell us like, the reasoning and the thought process behind like, just the Fingerboarding Unlimited group.
So originally, back in 2012 is when I really got into the pro fingerboard gear. I was actually collecting guitar picks for bands I liked and stuff. And I was rolling through YouTube videos trying to see what people had, and I would message them and ask them what they wanted for stuff like that. And this, I can't remember his name. I got a hold of this one kid, and he sent me to Affliction and had me buy him a bench and send it to him, and he was going to send me pics. I did everything, and then I started looking at it all, and I was like, wow, this stuff's pretty awesome. And so I ordered, and from there, it all started.
Yeah,
Okay.
how it started, like tell us kind of why you started it and
In doing that, I just changed my collecting from guitar picks. I started getting into fingerboards and trying to collect stuff. And you find over time, people stop making half these products and you got to search them out. And I used to score everything from YouTube to eBay to Amazon, anything I could try to find it on. And I found that it was just really hard to find older stuff that I had been using originally years later after getting back into it. So I was like, a group that we could buy, sell, and trade and share stuff would make it a little easier. I think it was like the first 3 weeks I got 64 members and I didn't know if it was going to grow much more. and then it just started. I started letting in people from the Philippines and stuff, and it just started getting really big, really fast. Just I didn't know there was such a scene out there, I guess. But if you look at it, half of our group is, I don't even know. I looked at it a while ago. We got a lot of people from other countries.
It's kind of the situation that I have right now in my groups as well. My groups, I started my groups about 3 or 4 months before your groups, but my
Yeah,
groups didn't grow that fast. I mean, I started the groups and then like the first month, I think I had like 30, 40 people in there. And then like the
yeah,
second month, maybe 100, maybe. And then like it just kind of slowly started growing. And I think by the time you started your group, I think I was around like 400 people in there.
yeah.
And so it didn't, so right about a full year in is when it started really kind of like kicking off. And it started getting like to the 2 to 3 thousands. And then 2 years, my groups are now like almost 4 years deep. And so I've got, fingerboarding skate park builds. I think that's at like 43,000 people. I've got DIY fingerboards. It's at like 13, 14,000 people. Fingerboarding tips and tricks is sitting at a little over 40,000 people as well. So
I
there
forgot
are,
how many you were managing.
oh,
That's a
I
lot of
had,
stress. And then you're doing the tour. You're
yeah,
Superman.
I know. Yeah, I managed, I started off with like 6 groups total. I ended up giving away 3 of them. One was a handboarding group that kind of never
I
went
remember that
anywhere.
one.
And then I
Yeah,
ended up
yep.
giving that away. I had a Midwest fingerboarding group, which I ended up giving that one away as well. Just because it's just, I have so much
So
going
much to
on.
do, you can't dedicate all your
Yeah, and I
time.
can't. I'm like, I gotta kind of focus on some of the other stuff. So I ended up giving those groups away to, I can't remember who. I'll have to, off the top of my head, I can't remember who, but a
Oh,
couple
you
people from
probably there's so many
Chicago.
names you got in there.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, they took over the group. It looks like they're doing really well with it and stuff as well. So
I
but yeah,
think
I
that
started,
what started helping the group a lot was some of the people I pull in for moderation. Like once I got Ellen in there, you know a group's legit if you've got Ellen in there.
yeah,
I
Ellen
mean,
Snyder, Mike Snyder's mom. So
yeah,
that's one of the things that I kind of need to get more in tune with is building a great moderating team because what makes your group absolutely amazing is the fact that we've got a team of moderators that we're very active within the group. I'm pretty active in my groups, but like I definitely need at least, 2 or 3, maybe even 4 more people to help like moderate the group, making sure that, conversations are going well, things are moving properly, we're engaging and stuff with the group a little bit better because you guys do like, you know, yard sale post every week. You guys are doing like trick or combo of the week. Like you guys are getting people like really engaged in your groups. And I love that.
lately, I don't know what it is. The pin post things that you used to see on the top, it hasn't been on mine in a while. I can't pin anything, and when I do, I can't slide it over to see all those like we used to.
Well, I am also in the moderator group for Fingerboarding Unlimited. So I don't know if people know that or as well. But yeah, about a week or two ago, I was trying to pin my I make a monthly post of like all the events and stuff that are going on across directly the whole world. But I wasn't able to pin that post up either. And I can't really pin it in mine groups either. So I
Yeah.
guess tell us a little bit about what you would like to see more of in your group.
Oh, just more participation, I guess. You know, the more the merrier. I love meeting all the people that I've met through this. That's like the best thing. You know, so many like-minded individuals. You don't feel alone in it. You know, most of the time, like a lot of experiences, people are the only fingerboarder in their town that they know, and they can only do it so much and annoy their wives and their parents and stuff with the ticking and the tacking. And then just having a few friends makes it that much better. That was kind of a big thought in the group too. You know,
That's what I kind of like. I like seeing people just doing a shout out and be like, hey, is there anybody fingerboarding in Virginia? And then like
right?
Virginia people, like, they'll pop up and be like, yeah, dude, I'm from Richmond or I'm from here, I'm from there. And they're like, oh, snap, you're like 40 minutes down the street. And so
Yeah,
like one simple post like can literally like get you connected with like-minded individuals. And so I love seeing stuff like that.
that's nice. It is. You don't feel so alone in the stuff you love. So, you know.
No, for sure. All right. So what do you like to see less of in your groups?
Strong opinions that aren't very nice. You know, we work on positivity in the group. That's why we did that side chat too, so we could all the moderators and admins can talk to each other, get on the same page before we start, dealing with people. It's hard to be fair. Everybody, a lot of the group members, and I've had to learn this, they all come from a different mental standpoint. Not everybody's 100%. Some people are mature, some are immature. We're playing with toys, that we take very serious. And you're going to get a lot with that. So, like, being tolerant is something that we've had to work on. I got a lot of people that you'll get frustrated and you'll just remove them to not have to deal with it. But then they'll be messaging you and begging you to come back in. They'll change all their behavior. So you find out how much people love your group by that. That happens over and over again. I can usually chill people out by removing them for a minute and letting them back in. And then we have like this reform thing if they're not bad enough. There's a few that we can't let back in, you know that.
No, I understand that. I've been with you on the moderation team, I want to say like 2 years, 3 years. And
Yeah, since the beginning.
yes, we've seen some weird stuff. I'm not even gonna lie.
There's
We've
a lot.
seen
The internet's
anything
a crazy
from
place.
scams to harassment and bullying to the
Who's that
whole
guy who threatened to do something at an event, one of
oh,
Ellen's
iron
events?
slider.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just taking it too serious, like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him, but hopefully he's, getting himself getting himself right. But yeah,
Figured out, yeah.
we had some weird stuff, man. And a lot of people don't even understand is like we do a lot to make sure that we protect the community from scammers and things that look fishy and stuff like that. And so my groups personally, I try not to have a lot of people like buying and selling in my groups just because I don't have the manpower to manage
Yeah.
all of those transactions and making sure that like, these people are legit and stuff like that. Where, your group, Fingerboarding Unlimited, it's more of a buy, sell, trade type of group. And, there's always reference checks that are going on in your groups and just making sure
Yeah.
that, people are legit. And we do a lot to make sure that like, transactions go through and, there's no issues. And so I don't think a lot of people realize like how much work goes behind making sure that that community is safe.
Yeah, it's hard. It's always. I don't think we'll ever be able to get it 100% because some things are out of our control, but we do a lot to try. We tracked down, we've unscammed people, we've donated to people to kind of fix problems, but even that gets hard because some people could tell you that they got scammed when they didn't, and then you just, So it's tricky. I think we'll always be working on it.
Well, of course, I don't think there's ever going to be a perfect system, but I think that the public definitely needs to know that, like, there's people that are definitely looking out for them, and there's people that are in place making sure that, this group is as safe as it possibly can be.
We've tried to help. I think we've done, for the most part, make people feel safe. That reference check, if you've been in the beginning, if you don't have a reputation, it's really easy to build one by just posting all your trades, all your sales. I think within the group, I think I have probably over 200 trades. I know I've turned like most of my stuff's trading. I got a ton of stuff in my collection, but I've paid not what it was worth for all of it because of the trading. That's what's nice about the group. You don't have to have $1 million to trade.
Well, that's one of the cool things about the group and fingerboarding as well, because we're all like try as much stuff as possible, but I'm not gonna lie, fingerboarding is expensive. It is expensive
It's
as it's stupid, honestly.
yeah,
So, I mean, a setup can run you, 150, $200, which is, not cheap in today's market at all. And so you can go out, drop $150 on a setup and not even like it. And
yeah,
so you,
yeah.
and it's a bummer too. You're like, oh, I'm gonna try Black River trucks for the first time, and then like I'm gonna try this deck for the first time, and I'm gonna try these wheels, and you're like, well, these wheels aren't as grippy as I would like, and this board isn't as got a deep a concave as I like, and like these
Something I
trucks just seem heavier than dynamics, and you're just like, okay, I don't know if I like this, and so now
yeah.
you're like, I'm kind of out, 150, $200, and so you got groups like yours where like people are like, hey, I just bought these Black River trucks. They're a little bit too heavy. These wheels aren't as grippy as I thought they'd be. Like, I'm looking to try to trade these for blah, 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 blah. And so you'll
Yep.
see a lot of that stuff happening and stuff. And so you can end up spending, $200 originally, but end up trading your way through like three or four different trades until you find something that you like.
Right. And you'll find too, even if you lightly use it, the stuff still holds value, and to the right person, you can get the perfect trade, something you were looking for that was a little bit more, but worth it more to you than them.
That's one of the cool things about fingerboarding too, is that even though it is expensive, as long as you take care of your stuff, like the stuff will hold value and it will hold value
Yeah.
for like years, which
Yeah.
is like absolutely crazy. So like if you got like, set of wheels, pipstick wheels, labs, any of that stuff, all those wheels, like they hold their value. As long as it's from like a really good company, like you can almost get pretty close to retail price for even used wheels, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Decks are
Because the
kind of
rarity of stuff, it changes between colors and shapes being available. That's what kind of controls it. It's like what's available and what's not. Joycoat was a big one for a while when they went out, when they weren't, you couldn't get their wheels. Anybody that had them, they were worth more than they bought them for originally. I bought
that's
most of them for
true.
like $20 to $35 used. Then they went out of business, and then everybody wanted them was offering $50. I'm like, I'm feeling bad, but they want it for that. I'm like, okay,
Sometimes that secondary market goes crazy. We see it
it
all the
does.
time with like bonks and woos and beast pants and beast pants for sure. Like the secondary market for beast pants
Oh
is
yeah.
absolutely wild right now. Like,
Every time I've ever sold a beast pants, they almost flip for double. And depending on who, it could be triple. And I'm always like, why? Holy smokes. I don't question it, but
yeah, secondary markets can get pretty wild. It's every now and then someone will like screenshot something on eBay and share it with the group, and you're just like, how are these even going for this? How is there
I got,
55 bids on this right now? Like that makes no
yeah,
sense.
yeah. It's the rarity. Once you know what you want and what you like, you search it out. It's like what you were saying too, and between the parts you put on it, it changes everything. So you could hate your board, and dynamics are a little wider than the black rivers when you put them on it. Stretches that wheelbase. Just stretching that wheelbase can make you love or hate it. So
Yeah.
I found stuff like that too. And even the grippy wheels versus the slippery wheels. Each one has a place.
Well, here's the crazy thing about setups is the longer you fingerboard, the more specific you are about your setup. And
Yep.
so as a beginner, you're kind of like, I don't really know what I like, so everything feels good. And then the
Yep.
more you fingerboard, the longer you do it, like you can only skate certain things because
Yeah, I
they
think you build
perform
your hand
certainly.
muscles a certain way to fit on that board. One thing, like I use Collier now most of the time, and it's a shorter deck than the Black Rivers that I used to run a lot. And it just changes a lot of it for me. As soon as I grab a Black River, I feel like I just restarting. But then if I do it for a week, I'm back on it. It's really
Yeah, it's
weird.
crazy. I was actually going to ask you what your setup is. What's the go-to
I
setup right
tell you.
now?
So I'm always doing a 34 Urban Collier. And then with the trucks, I actually take dynamic base plates from the special editions and I put the Black River hangers on it because I just like the look better. I feel like it gives me a little bit more weight. I used to do oaks, but I just been trying some melt box for a while, and I almost they're really tight with oak with me right now. Like
Okay.
I tried to put my oaks back on here when I switched decks, and I was like, oh, this whole board feels weird to me. So I had to go back to the melt box.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
actually was just talking to Ellen about trying to get him in the store. They're really good wheels. You guys should try them if you haven't.
All right. Shout out yeah, shout out to them. I haven't had the opportunity to try them, so I'll definitely
I
have to
think
add
you'll
it to
like
the
them.
list. Yeah.
They're in close running, and I'm only an oak man most of the time. I like the way other wheels work, but for function, it's always been oaks. It seems like.
They're really big in the European scene. I went to Fast Fingers and I was pretty surprised how many people are running Oaks and cartwheels.
For me, it's like so good urethane wheels are everywhere. They all got
Hmm.
good grip, but that weight is so important. For especially if you're starting to kickflip and land into stuff, that weight can teeter totter your board just right. If it's light, it just floats off into the. It's just it's different. Once you get used to some weight, it gets hard to get a light setup going for me.
No, for sure. I think this is a great time to do our Listen to Win contest. So Cody is going to be giving away a pad mounted transformer. And so these are made by him. I don't know the process. You may have to kind of tell us about this.
It might be a super secret. I'm
Might be
just
a
kidding.
super secret. Okay, okay, no, I respect it. He's like, I'm not giving away the juice. I'm not giving away the juice at all.
You know. But I mean, it's a metal box. It's completely legit. If you look at them, they open up. You could store stuff in them if you wanted. The bottom is wood. It looks like concrete, but it's better for shipping. All you gotta do is put some sticky tack, and it doesn't even have to be heavy. But they sound legit. It's very rewarding.
I like these. These things are pretty cool. I've seen them in and out of the groups now for a good year or so, and they're everybody is just raving about these things. And so if you've got a DIY park at the house, and this is going to be a great addition because the realism of it is absolutely phenomenal.
I
All
think
right.
yeah, Dave Ware's got one in his park. I've made one for Mike. Yeah, I just make stuff when I think of, I get to tinkering. I'm like, if I want it, and then I just make more of them because I'm like, how people love this.
No, for sure. I like it. I actually love that realism stuff, the mini trees, the lamp posts, all those cool things. So
Anything to make it not feel like a toy. That's
exactly, exactly.
yeah,
So
yeah.
all right, let's give them the challenge. So Cody has learned Nollie heals recently, and he's going all out. He's talking to like 10% of the community. He can do a Nollie heal to 5-0. I'm gonna simplify it for you guys. If you can do anything into a Nollie heal or anything out of a Nollie heal, I'll make it count. But bonus points for the Nollie heal 5-0.
Not gonna get one right now. Watch. No, I'm nervous. That
It's the camera, man. It's the camera. All right,
camera.
so we're looking for a Instagram post of your Nollie Heel 5-0 or any variation of a Nollie heel. It can't just be a simple Nollie heel. It's got to be a Nollie heel mani, Nollie heel into a grinder or slide, or a Nollie heel out of a grinder or slide, or a Nollie heel out of a mani or nose mani. Give us your best variation of a Nollie heel. Bonus points for the Nollie heel 5-0. Of course, you're going to need to tag USAFBL, USAFBL underscore FBP. And Cody, tell them your handle.
Skate Fanatic 1987. I think it is. Is it for
Also,
Instagram you're talking?
yeah, so also tag Skate Fanatic
1987.
1987. Oh man, making me work today. Understandable. And I got a whole slew of USFBL handles and stuff just for
Yeah, you
all the
probably have a
different products.
paper with all of it down like a key,
Oh, it's
a
crazy.
master
You got
key.
the main channel, you got the podcast channel, you got combo of the year, king of the plies. Like it's just the list goes on and on and on for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, to add on these, so the winner, this one's a personal one, but the winner I'll fabricate one, and then they'll be able to get a hold of me and let me know what numbers they want over here, whether it be a significant number, a birth date, anything.
With
That's something I did. Dave
customizable
Ware, I did a
numbers.
trade with him, and I think he did 8675309, which was a pretty fun one.
Oh,
Made me smile.
no, that's awesome. All right, well, you're hearing it here first. So get them Nolly heels ready. Get them Nolly heels
I
ready.
can't get one on camera.
All right, so we've got, do you have any like up and coming projects? Anything
Um, Honestly, it's just been work, work, work lately. I have been thinking of designing and making something new to make a drop of. I'm just not sure yet what. I feel like I've done everything I could think of, most of it. Sometimes stuff comes to you though. You should be looking at something outside, like
well, people, I know you've made other things. Like I know that you've done like the USPS mailboxes, right?
mailboxes. Yep, yep. Did those. And then I did chain gaps. I've done a few things. I did sidewalks that had a lifted up sidewalk piece too. I used to do
I
those.
remember that. Yeah, yeah. Were you with the light post or was that somebody else?
Yeah, light posts too. Yep, did light posts. Yep.
Okay.
And then I actually had designed. It was basically a copy of the tech deck picnic table because they were hard to find. I
Oh
designed one with a guy in Sweden printed
yeah.
those. Remember
I remember that. People went
that? Yeah,
wild on those things, dude. Like
those were
people,
fun.
yeah, it's so nostalgic.
That was the thing. They're so hard to find. And now when you find them, they're $100.
And it's crazy is I used to have a few of them and then I ended up just kind of selling them because I didn't really once you kind of upgrade to like, warehouse ramps and Black River Parks and stuff like that, I'm like, I don't really think anybody's gonna mess with these. And so I ended up giving them away. And now I'm kind of like, I kind of want one of them.
Yeah, all of us almost 40-year-olds remember them so well. And we have to have it for our childhood.
I know, but you got to get the metal ones, the old school metal ones. Don't get the newer plastic ones. So you
Yeah, I've
need
definitely had way too many tech deck tables at this point. I think I have 7 of them right now.
that's impressive. That's an impressive stock.
I always thought I would have a day one scene, or not a day one, a Rodney Mullen. I'll be picnic table, picnic table. It ain't happening yet.
That's hard. That's
It
even
is.
it's crazy what he can do on a skateboard, and even us fingerboarders who could theoretically do that faster than anybody else can do on a skateboarder, we struggle to do that stuff, which is absolutely wild.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's definitely you gotta do it for a while and get used to it.
All right, so do you
I
have
think Bryce was doing stuff like that, some flat land and stuff like that, pretty good a while back.
yeah, he was posting some clips on Instagram several months ago on it. I'm not really sure where his progress is, but yeah, he's been doing some stuff
It's
with it.
pretty intricate with them fingers.
Yeah,
He plays guitar too, I believe.
that helps. Piano hands, guitar hands, that helps. All right, so do you have like any hobbies that people may not know about besides fingerboarding?
Just do the dad thing for the most part, I want to say. Skateboarding has kind of just always been it.
Well, I know we've got a couple questions from the internet, so we've got some fans from the group. I'll give you I think we've got two really good ones that haven't been talked about already in the cast so far. So we went out, we made a post letting people know that we were interviewing you, and we got a couple good questions basically on their behalf. So we're gonna roll with it. All right, question one. How do you choose your mods and why?
Originally, I started choosing my mods based on their activity in the group. I'd watch their interaction with people, I'd watch the replies, and I'd feel them out as a person, and I'd message them on the inside and just see if they're interested in it. And I really like the go-getters, the ones that are messaging every day, because I know they're going to be on it. They're not going to miss stuff. I think that's basically how I do it. Some people get a hold of me asking to do it, but I mean, a lot of people want to have a little bit of control. Not everybody deserves it. Not everybody's got the mind for it. That's been a hard one too. We've had a few moderators, if you remember, that we had to remove.
I
Wasn't working
remember
out.
that. Yeah, power like just kind of got to their head and just kind of doing things for their own benefits, not really like the benefits of the group, but just their own selfish benefits, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, we've had a journey. I
Yeah,
forgot all about that, to be honest with you. Our
yeah, I
team
did
right
too
now is
until the
really
other
strong.
day.
Yeah, our team right
Yeah,
now is really strong. Like I think we got like what 12, 15 moderators.
yeah, we've got a lot of them in there. They always say too many Chiefs, but I think we're doing well.
Well, I think everybody just kind of stays in their lane. We all check in and out, periodically and daily, stuff like that. So I think like, with everybody's schedules and what we got going on, I think it works.
Yeah, yeah, we have some people from other countries, and it helps. Like when I'm asleep, they're just waking up, so they're on it while I'm not.
That's the big thing with my groups is like when I'm sleeping, that's when like chaos kind of like I get up early. So like, I get up at like 6 on the eastern side. So it's still like 3 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. And so like when I get up, like I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, no, remove this. Can't say that, remove that. And it's
Yep,
just it gets crazy at night. So especially a lot
it
of
does.
the
I had to turn all my notifications off. Like Facebook, it waits for me. I can't let it yell at me because it'll do it all day and night.
yeah, it's wild. So there's just two types of Facebook groupers basically. It's like the daytime people that are like really casual, and then there's like the whole like night owl, like we're just gonna
Right. And
start
then
all
these
kinds
chats,
of
these chats are a whole nother breed of people too. It's
yeah.
totally different than in the group. I've allowed a little more off of a vibe in the groups, or not the groups, the chats, where I probably need to clean it up a little bit, but none of that has been in the group so far. So it's kind of, I don't know.
So
You
that's
can't
something
always tell
too
them how to
that
talk. It's so hard.
I know, and that's where like you actually have chats in your groups. I don't allow chats in my group. I don't have the manpower to monitor the side chats and all that stuff just because some people just don't know how to act right. They just don't know how to talk to
You know,
people. And it's like, and a lot of times it's not even like what they're saying, it's like how they're saying it.
how they're saying it. And when that goes
Yeah.
back to there's all kinds of people that we're not all the same. Like some people have mental issues going on. They're going through high stress. Many things factor in them as a person and why they're that way. And if you don't know them, it's hard to judge them just because I wouldn't do that, but everybody's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Yeah. That's wild. All right.
Yeah.
Second question. The group seems to be more family orientated than most. And is there a reason?
Yeah, I got my kids in there and I try to be a good influence. I know a lot of people got their kids. A lot of us are dads. I think, some wholesome content, especially when you get certain big names in there, Ellen and, a lot of our team, it doesn't belong in here. It could be cleaned up. If they want to talk and be A lot of our problem was people putting drugs and paraphernalia in their videos and pictures, and that can go anywhere else besides.
No, and I respect that. So for a lot of people who may not know this, there's a fingerboarding group for everybody. So if you're looking for a very active, very good, positive vibe group, Fingerboarding Unlimited is definitely the group for you. If you're looking for just kind of a free for all, whatever kind of goes kind of groups, I've got specific groups for those, whether it's the, fingerboarding skate park builds, which is basically for obstacle makers, park builders, stuff like that. I've got fingerboarding tips and tricks, help you learn tricks and a little bit about like setups, just anything basically fingerboarding related. Then if you want like just straight up just drama and beef and stuff like that, there's like, the
Fingerboard Fight
fingerboarding
Club.
fight club. Then if you're like, I like to smoke cannabis and chill and hang out and just kind of do my thing, there's like a 420 group. And so like whatever you're into, like there's literally a fingerboarding group that's out there for you. And so whether you're not a fan of the Fingerboarding Unlimited group or a fan of my groups or whatever, there's other groups out there. Like there's a spot for you. Like someone made a group specifically to cater to whatever it is that you're into.
And also to add there, anybody who does, smoke and all that, nobody, I do that stuff, but I don't put it in my kids', face. We got to remember that we influence children through the stuff that we do, and putting it in their face makes them think it's cool. That's kind of half of the why we pull that out of the group half the time, because I just don't want to endorse the wrong things to people. We're here to fingerboard.
No, definitely. And it's the same for my groups as well. I try to keep the cannabis and the weapons and guns and stuff like that out of our groups. There's other groups, that, there's people that collect guns and fingerboard and all that stuff, and there's groups for that as well. So the problem is you got
Yeah,
people from some groups kind of interchanging their content into other groups that, those aren't really the groups for that type of content. So just kind of keeping things separate has always been like a pretty big thing for us. I know definitely for you guys as well. So, all right. So I know you probably got a good sized list of shout outs, people you want to recognize,
that's all from the hip. So if
all
I
from the
forget
hip.
anybody,
Okay.
forgive me. I love you all. We'll throw out Alan Dean. He's a big one for me. We've kept in contact ever since that first Chicken Fingers, and then Jeff of Cosmic Inertia, that's another good one for me. Dave Ware, basically everybody's my friend. So all of you, shout out, I love you all. I'm really bad at remembering stuff, but
No, I understand. It's we come across so many different people, especially in the groups and stuff like that. We've got the moderator team. Shout out to the moderator team. We've
yeah,
got we just the list just goes forever. It's almost impossible to give everybody the shout out and the love that they deserve, but I know that we
yeah.
definitely have those people in our hearts and our minds for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, I see them all day. I mean, half these people, it's like family. You feel like you know people just because you've been watching them, every day they're posting or
Yeah, well, Wes McFadden was the last person I think in our moderating team that I have not met personally, like on tour or just at an event. And I ended up meeting him for the first time after literally been interacting with him for like 2 or 3 years now because of the moderator team. And we met
yep.
in Chicken Fingers just
Yeah,
like
he
about a
brought his
month
boy
ago.
down there, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So this stuff's pretty cool. Just being able to network and connect with people that you've been interacting with for quite a while. It's also like really cool. So I've
Yeah, that's
got
one thing.
I've got a small list of shout outs as well. So first off, you made it this far, finger the like button. Definitely like this, share this, and let people know like who's got one of the best podcasts, out here on the planet. Also, if you are watching this before anybody else on our Patreon channel, thank you, thank you, thank you for all the love and support. Also, if you're not a Patreon member, where are you at? Also, huge, huge, huge shout out to seasons.fb on Instagram. His donation allowed me to upgrade our microphone, so definitely let me know if I sound a lot better than the old microphone before. Definitely helped his donation helping the channel out, so I appreciate you as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. I know our viewers and listeners are going to be like, he sounds silky smooth right now.
You do. It's like an R&B singer.
I know, I know. So definitely stoked on that. And if you guys want to help donate or help us with audio and video stuff, equipment, things like that, we definitely need as much of love as possible. So definitely hit us up at USAFBL. I think that's it. Cody, where can people find you? Are you on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube? Where are you at?
I'm still kind of on Facebook doing the old man thing. I Instagram and all them, they kind of confuse me. I know how to watch the videos, but people will tag me. I don't know how to accept it and stuff, and I have to get her to show me.
Fair enough, fair enough. I'm going to get with Cody. We're going to get you some links and I'm going to put them in the description for you guys. Well, Cody, thank you for coming on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. It's good to see you.
And you too as
I
well,
got to get
Isaac.
to another event.
Definitely there's stuff happening every single week in your state. So it's no
I know.
excuse. You got boards and brews coming up real quick. You've got man, you've got Grind Time 5 coming up real quick. And you also have the Ferndale, Michigan 2-day weekend event as well coming up real quick as well. So
Fifth grind time. I didn't even. Dang, we're
that's what I'm saying.
some
Time's flying.
progress.
Time is
Yeah.
flying. So definitely some stuff going on out here in Michigan for sure. Till next time.